The boarding line at gate 42 was inching forward, alive with the usual hum of travel chaos announcements of delays, gate changes, passengers sighing into their phones. The air carried a kind of restless tension as people juggled luggage, coffee, and impatience. Amid it all stood Daniel Harper, mid-30s, wearing worn-out jeans, a hoodie that had seen better days, and eyes that spoke of both exhaustion and gentleness. Slung over one shoulder was a beat-up backpack, and holding his other hand was his son Max, a wide-eyed 7-year-old whose energy hadn't yet caught up with the fatigue of travel. They had been on the road for hours, traveling back to Seattle after a week in Florida. Daniel's mother had fallen ill again, and the visit had been heavy. Hospitals, old memories, quiet goodbyes. This flight back felt like more than a return, it felt like a release. As they neared the boarding gate, Daniel looked down at their tickets and blinked in surprise. "Well, would you look at that?" he said half to himself. "We got lucky, buddy. First class." Max's eyes lit up instantly. "First class? Like, with the big seats? And the juice in real glass cups?" Daniel chuckled, ruffling the boy's hair. "Exactly like that." For a moment, the weariness lifted. But then, just behind them in line, another scene unfolded of very different energy. A young woman in her early 30s was struggling to keep control of two identical twin girls, maybe 4 years old. The girls clung to her coat, one asking about clouds, the other demanding snacks, both speaking with the urgency only toddlers can manage. The woman looked polished and elegant, but at that moment, she looked overwhelmed. She stepped up to the gate attendant with barely concealed stress in her voice. "I requested seats together," she said. "They're only 4. I can't have them sitting in separate rows." The attendant offered an apologetic shrug. "I'm sorry, ma'am. It's a full flight. The system assigned random seating. There's not much I can do." The woman's jaw tensed, but she nodded, then crouched down to her daughters, trying to sound cheerful. "Okay, sweeties, we'll figure it out. Maybe the nice lady next to you will play a game with you, huh?" Daniel watched quietly. Then he looked down at Max. "Hey, bud," he said softly. "How about we give up those fancy seats? Let the twins have them instead." Max's face fell. "But the juice, in the glass cups." Daniel smiled. "We'll get double next time. Today we're doing something cooler." A moment later, he stepped back to the gate agent. "Hi, I'd like to switch our seats. Give the lady and her girls our spots in first class." The agent blinked, surprised. "Sir, that's a significant downgrade." Daniel shrugged. "Yeah, but sometimes the right thing isn't the comfortable thing." The mother turned, stunned. "Are you serious? I don't even know what to say." "You don't have to," Daniel said. "Just get those girls home safe." She blinked back a flicker of emotion, holding her daughters close. "Thank you, really." The flight was long. Max eventually dozed off in Daniel's lap, legs cramped behind the tray table, their row tight and noisy. Daniel didn't sleep. He just stared out the window, mind drifting to his mother's condition, the bills waiting at home, and the long list of things he had no control over. But despite everything, there was peace. A quiet kind. The kind that sits with you when you know you did the right thing even if no one saw it. Only, someone had seen. When the plane landed, just as passengers began reaching for overhead bins, a flight attendant appeared at their row. "Mr. Harper, could you and your son please come with me?" Daniel blinked. "Is something wrong?" The attendant smiled. "Not at all." They were quietly led past security into a private lounge. Daniel didn't even know airports had sleek floors, soft lighting, quiet hums of air conditioning instead of crowded chatter. A man in a suit met them with a slight bow. "Mr. Harper, please wait here. Someone would like to speak with you." Moments later, the woman from the plane entered, but now flanked by 2 assistants. Gone was the flustered mom. In her place stood someone composed, confident, and unmistakably familiar. "I'm sorry for the dramatic entrance," she said, extending a hand. "I didn't get to thank you properly earlier." Daniel stood slowly, trying to place her face. "My name is Elena Roth." The name hit him like a jolt. Elena Roth, the CEO of Skyjet Airways, billionaire, philanthropist, youngest female airline executive in the country. You own the airline?" She smiled. "I do. And you gave up your seat without knowing that." "Most people wouldn't, especially not a single dad with a son who was clearly excited." Daniel cleared his throat, unsure what to say. "I just saw someone struggling. It didn't feel right to do nothing." "That's exactly why it meant so much," she said. She signaled her assistant, who handed Danny a sleek envelope. Inside was something most travelers only dream of. A lifetime Skyjet Elite Pass. For you and Max. First class. Every flight. Every destination. No more tray table knees. Daniel stared at it, stunned. I can't accept this." Elena tilted her head. "You didn't ask for anything when you helped us. That's why you deserve everything. Max, still half asleep, tugged at his dad's hoodie. Dad, does that mean we get the glass cups next time? Everyone laughed. Elena knelt beside him and whispered, Next time, you're going to have 100 next times. Later, as the car service she arranged whisked them home, Daniel watched his son humming softly in the back seat, tapping his fingers against the window. A tune only a child could invent, full of nothing but happiness. Daniel smiled to himself. He hadn't done it for thanks. He hadn't done it for recognition. He'd done it because kindness shouldn't come with conditions or rewards. It should be natural like breathing, like choosing light over shadow. And sometimes, when you lift someone else, the universe lifts you in quiet, unexpected, breathtaking ways. Because one simple act of compassion can echo through 100 lives, and you never know who's watching, or how far your kindness will carry.